Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will journey through Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. Great Expectations, written by Charles Dickens, was first published in 1861. It is a coming-of-age novel that follows the life of an orphan named Pip, tracing his growth from a boy living in humble circumstances to a young man striving for personal improvement and social advancement. Set in early 19th century England, the novel explores themes of wealth, social class, love, and personal redemption. Great Expectations is renowned for its vivid characters, dramatic narrative, and its critique of Victorian society. Plot summary. On a raw, misty afternoon, young Pip, an orphan raised by his harsh sister and kind brother-in-law Joe, finds himself in a churchyard. Here, amidst the graves of his family, a frightening convict named Magwitch seizes Pip, demanding food and a file to free himself from his leg irons. Trembling, Pip complies, stealing provisions from his sister's kitchen. But soon, Magwitch is captured again, yet surprisingly, he covers for Pip, claiming he stole the food himself. Pip's modest life continues in the marshy village where Joe works as a blacksmith. One day, he is invited to the decaying, cobweb-covered mansion of the wealthy but eccentric Miss Havisham. Abandoned on her wedding day, Miss Havisham has lived in suspended time, wearing her tattered wedding dress and leaving her wedding feast untouched. In this strange, frozen world, Pip meets the cold but beautiful Estella, Miss Havisham's adopted daughter. Estella, raised to break men's hearts, treats Pip with disdain, but despite this, Pip falls desperately in love with her. His visits to the mansion awaken in him a sense of shame about his own lowly status, and he begins to yearn for a different life, a life of wealth and refinement, in hopes of winning Estella's love. Time passes, and Pip becomes discontented with his apprenticeship to Joe, feeling more and more out of place in the simple, honest world of the forge. One day, a London lawyer named Jaggers arrives with astonishing news. Pip has come into great expectations. A mysterious benefactor has bestowed a fortune upon him, and he is to move to London to become a gentleman. Believing Miss Havisham is his benefactor, and that she intends for him to marry Estella, Pip leaves his old life behind with excitement and arrogance, distancing himself from Joe and his roots. In London, Pip befriends the cheerful Herbert Pocket, who helps guide him through the ways of high society. However, despite the lavish new life he adopts, Pip's wealth brings him little happiness. His obsession with Estella remains, and though they occasionally meet, she continues to be indifferent to his feelings. She warns Pip that she has no heart, a product of Miss Havisham's manipulations. Years pass, and Pip's lavish spending leads him into debt. His life is thrown into turmoil when Magwitch, the convict he helped as a boy, reappears. To Pip's shock, it is Magwitch, not Miss Havisham, who has been his secret benefactor all along. The convict had made a fortune in Australia, and out of gratitude for Pip's childhood kindness, dedicated his wealth to making Pip a gentleman. This revelation horrifies Pip, who initially feels deep shame and disgust, as he has built his dreams on the assumption that his fortune came from someone of high social standing. Yet, as Magwitch reveals more about his hard life, Pip's feelings gradually shift. He sees the old man's sincerity and begins to care for him, realizing that wealth and class are not the true measures of worth. Meanwhile, Estella marries the brutish Bentley Drummle, a match that devastates Pip. Miss Havisham, filled with regret over her role in Estella's emotional coldness, begs Pip for forgiveness. However, her guilt overwhelms her, and in a tragic accident, she catches fire from the decaying remnants of her wedding gown. Though Pip tries to save her, she is gravely injured. Pip, now mature and aware of the moral failings that came with his aspirations, resolves to help Magwitch escape from the law. Magwitch is being hunted by the authorities, but they hatch a plan to smuggle him out of the country. During this time, Pip learns that Magwitch is Estella's father, a fact that adds another layer of complexity to his feelings for both Magwitch and Estella. However, their escape attempt fails. Magwitch is captured, and Pip, now deeply affectionate toward the old man, stays by his side until his death in prison. Magwitch dies at peace, knowing his daughter is alive and well, though unaware of the emotional toll his plans for Pip have caused. In the aftermath, Pip's fortune is forfeited to the crown due to its connection to Magwitch's criminal past. Penniless and sick, Pip returns home, only to be nursed back to health by Joe. Touched by Joe's kindness and realizing how wrongly he treated him, Pip feels profound guilt and shame. He resolves to live honestly, working to repay his debts and rejecting the shallow dreams of wealth and status he once chased. Joe marries the gentle Biddy, and Pip plans to go abroad to work alongside his loyal friend Herbert. Years later, Pip returns to his village, humbled but wiser. In the final scene, he encounters Estella at the ruined site of Satie's house. She, too, has suffered through her unhappy marriage to Drummle, who has since died. Estella has changed, her pride and coldness have softened, and she now understands the pain she caused Pip. In a moment of quiet reconciliation, they walk away hand in hand, leaving their futures open, but with a newfound understanding and mutual respect. That's a wrap, but the journey doesn't end. Explore more books by Charles Dickens. You'll find the details in the description or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Charles Dickens's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.